Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Exclusive Minds. That's right, we are back. Are you like, Darrell, where have you been? Look, it's been a long football season, okay? I had to watch a lot of terrible football to bring back Exclusive Minds, but we're here at the end of the year to bring you back episode 2 of Exclusive Mind. And with that, we're bringing you our Exclusive Nights End of the Year Awards. And of course, I can't do this alone. And with me, because everybody knows that an exclusive mind is a terrible thing to waste. So with me today, you got the man. He's like no other night, Mr. Eric Knight. How you doing, E? Hold up, I got you on mute. I done muted you, E.
There it is. Hey, I'm good. Look, I'm glad we done make. Look, this year has been amazing. Again, I'm so glad we have been doing this a whole year consistently. We have been killing this. I love it, man. The people, Zach, being our normal guys always, letting us know, just telling us what today is, and we know what it is. New Year's Eve.
It's New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to you, Zach.
Shout out to our man, Zach, always in the building, making sure things happen. Also, Nicole, thank you for joining us. Very excited about the episode. We're glad to have you for the episode. And of course, I cannot forget the man, the myth, and the legend. The only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. The HP Prince himself. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing okay, man. I am so excited for this. I've been excited for this show since we talked about it, and I just can't wait to see what other people think about some of our picks, man. It's fun.
I'm excited too. And shout out to, and if I'm not mistaken, this is Nicole's brainchild, because we had an episode like a couple months ago, and she was like, "We got to have an end of the year." I said, what? You know what? You got something cooking there, young lady. So appreciate it. Shout out to Nicole for that one. Yes. Look, so we got a lot to get into with the awards, and so we're gonna give you. We got PLE of the year, storyline, match of the year, all that stuff. Our top wrestlers, all that fun stuff. But we're gonna start off first with our honorable mentions. So we got some ones we didn't highlight in certain categories, but we wanted to still give these people love. And the first category in our honorable mentions was tag team. E, I'm going to start with you first. Men and women, give me your tag teams of the year.
Man, look, if you ask me who I had for my tag team of the year this year, I'd be lying. I'd be capping if I didn't say the Young Bucks. Come on. For the men, come on. The Young Bucks, they killed it this year. Every match, top notch. The Jobber's journey. And I'm going to tell, we're going to talk about that but come on. Why not? And for the women, I gave it to the Sisters of Sin. I ain't going to lie. Hey, love the Lord. But I ain't going to lie. Those women there, man, those women, they got something on them, man. I like it. They got it. They got something, man. I'm loving what they're doing. Them as a tag team, seeing what Julia Hart and Sky Blue is doing in the women's tag team division. Come on, man. I wouldn't be surprised by next year they'll have a title. And all the stuff they're doing with my girl Tekla, come on. Come on.
I feel you. I feel you 1,000% on that. And here's the thing, I agree with you. Young Bucks for me, the whole situation. I don't want to give out too much stuff because we got things to talk about, but I love what they did all year long. They from the depths to where they are now, and I thought they did a really good job with that. Now, for the women, I had a little bit of a conundrum because I wanted to go with the Babes of Wrath because I love both. I love both my girl Harley Cameron, and I love my girl Willow Nightingale. Their energy alone is just but it's so fresh. Technically, I didn't go that route only for that. But 2026, I feel like depending on how AEW handled that, they could be the women's tag team of the year. But I'm going to give it to Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I feel like what they did on the low is they helped rebuild the women's tag team division, because they did, and they've put people together before, but they were able to kind of work it. And then from that point, they used those two to help put other tag teams together to help rebuild the women's division. And to be honest with you, the women's division in WWE may be the hottest tag team division in all of WWE. So I give them two former champions credit, and they're still kind of mixing it up a little bit, but I like what they've done there. So those are my honorable mentions for tag team. HB Prince, we swing to you, brother. Who do you got on your tag team front for men and women?
So I'm going to start with the women because I'm in agreement with you for all the same reasons. I have to go with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and it's predominantly because of what you just said. It's what they did for the women's tag team titles in WWE. We have been craving it and asking for it for a while from WWE to kind of really make the tag team division legit, especially in the women's and men's, but in the women's division, because they have been playing hot potato with those titles. We lost Sasha Banks and Naomi for a minute because of those titles and the way they were doing things. And so for them to finally start to pour energy into the women's tag team division and put Charlotte and Alexa together, and then the story of how they came about with the not really liking each other to we're not friends to they really are friends, and actually going on a good little run. I have to give it to them because now, the last few weeks, they have really been stepping it up with new tag teams entering the fray. We're talking about Mommy and Io Sky, the Kabuki Warriors. It's like, they're finally starting to make the tag team championships in the women division feel like they are worth fighting for. They mean something. So I have to give it to them. And look, I need to do an honorable mention to the honorable mention because this was a tough one, because we heard people had one of the best years as a tag team. They were champions most of the year. I mean, just straight up ran the AEW men's tag team championship division and just dominated. We're talking about Bobby Lashley. We're talking about Shelton Benjamin. And then, you put that all together with MVP as the mouthpiece. It's hard to really not pick them, but I have to give it to the greatest tag team of all time, the Young Bucks. The year they had, the story of them going from being the EVPs to the Broke Bucks, and just the journey that they were going through each week was just memorable. And it was just like, this is awesome. I mean, when they got in the ring, I can't think of a bad match that I saw this year with with the Bucks. I mean, they always had you on the edge of your seat in their matches. Like I said, they had it in the ring, they had it outside the ring with the stories, them going to the casinos, gambling away, the $500,000 when they were up, they were just giving money away, and then they were broke again. I mean, the Bucks just killed it this year, so they are my pick for men's tag team champions of the year.
Great minds, exclusive minds think alike on the tag team division. I like it. Everybody in the same route, and I agree with you too, E, because the Syndicate was right there with me. I was like, that's my guys, man. But I will say, because
hurt people,
but I will say, because of that, they're my faction of the year, because they had MJF in that mix, and when they did F in there, I felt like they had something really cooking, and it was just so many funny moments.
Oh my God,
so many funny moments that I saw, and I was like, this is all right. We all knew it wasn't going to last long. I still think it eventually, maybe in 2026, when Bobby Lashley decides to finally say, I want my title. I want that title. And I think we're leading to that at some point here, and maybe our revolution, maybe in those first couple of months of the year, we'll see. But that's what that's what I'm excited about. So my faction of the year, we heard people. We
heard people.
Easy E, who you got for the faction of the year?
Man, my faction of the year, I have to give it to the Don Callis family. Man, look, the way Don Callis has built this family, built this fact. We're talking about Takeshita. We're talking about Kyle Fletcher. Man, look, then even to a point when we actually seen the Young Bucks doing some work with the Don Callis family. Of course, we've seen what happened with that with Kenny Omega. But my God, I mean, just the stuff that they are doing right now. Okay. You're seeing what I mean, the whole story that they've been having with Okada and Takeshita, everything with that, everything with the Continental Classic, how it was like there was literally 3 to 4 people that were in the Continental Classic from the Don Callis family. I don't care how much that group right there, nothing but a bunch of pro elite banger athletes. The Don Callis family, in my opinion, this year is my faction of the year. Don Callis.
Don Callis just reminds me of a person that, you know, like you just feels like somebody you hate. Just no matter what the situation is. It's like he's like a boss that you had one time. You're like, I just don't, something about you, sir, that I just don't like. And every time I see him on screen, I'm like, yeah, this guy right here.
And the thing I love about it too, every time when he's he just runs off. Every time somebody gets him, he's just like he's probably in my top 3 this year for my favorite runners between him and MJF, like just running off on people. Oh my God.
I love it.
Don Callis. Gotta love it, man.
HB
Prince, your faction of the year, sir.
Oh, it's hard because Don Callis was going to be the fan was going to be mine, but I'm going to probably go ahead and say I give it to the Death Riders this year and the year that they had, and hopefully my mic sounds better now, guys. But yeah, the year that they had and what Jon Moxley did for AEW and its path that it's on now, I think I got to give it to the Death Riders. Because they were just a foil in a lot of AEW's like top storylines, and I really do think that they drove AEW this year because they gave you a better version of Adam Hangman Page, and I don't know, the Death Riders, the matches Moxley, just the matches he was in this year, and Forks. Oh my gosh. I gotta say, I've got to give it to the Death Riders. I got to give it to Jon Moxley and them because I just think that they meant so much to the story of AEW. From like I said, Hangman Page to Darby Allin, Swerve, like all of them. It was
Will Ospreay. Remember how they did him? Oh my god.
Yeah, how they did him. Like it was just it was just a dope year for the Death Rider. So I got to give it to him.
I love it. So the factions. And that's the crazy thing because I feel like there's some factions out there, but it doesn't feel like there are as many as when we were growing up. Like Attitude Era, everybody was in a faction. And you had Los Bohuicos, you had you had DX, you had Nation of Domination. It was
Nation of Domination.
It was just like
the nation.
Domination.
It was just so many fellas. Nation. Domination. It was so many.
Hey, I missed that.
Yeah.
It was way.
I'm telling you, man. Look, Nation of Domination was hilarious. You get The Rock in there talking off the cuff and crazy. You got Farouk sounding like somebody's angry uncle.
Yeah.
Hey, let's watch them. Right, calm down, Farouk. Calm down a little bit. So our last one in our honorable mentions goes to Moment of the Year. I'm actually going to start with HB Prince first on this one. He said he had something. He said he had something special for Moment of the Year. What was your Moment of the Year, HB Prince?
My Moment of the Year, and the reason why it's just the most memorable to me is just because of what it meant, what it signified. It was the story that led up to it, and we got it all at WrestleMania from the fight over Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman represented the tribal chief, and he went on a run that is legendary, that is something that we have not seen in some time. And it was a 3-year run of pure superiority, pure dominance. And to see this whole thing kind of implode the way that it did, with Paul Heyman being asked to be walked out to the ring by CM Punk, which put him in a situation and back and forth with Seth Rollins smacking Paul Heyman and picking on Paul Heyman in the ring, and you not really knowing who Paul Heyman is going to be like aligned with, because it's like you don't want to see him walk away from Roman Reigns and being the wise man, because you know that means that is coming to an end. And then at the same time, you have this guy in CM Punk that everyone has been chanting for years, and you know that there's a friendship there, and there's a favor that is owed to CM Punk from Paul Heyman, because CM Punk helped Roman Reigns. I believe it was Survivor Series that required him to owe him the favor, and so you got all of this up in the air of like, what is Paul Heyman going to do? Who is he going to choose when it comes down to it? And for Paul Heyman to get in there and do what he did, where he delivers the shot to CM Punk, he delivers the low blow heard round the world to Roman Reigns. And I think the best part of it was just the camera panning to Seth Rollins after that low blow, and Seth Rollins is standing there with his back to it all. And all he does is takes his left hand and reaches it out to the side. And Paul Heyman places the chair in Seth Rollins' hands, which tells everybody this is him. This is who he has chosen. This is who he's aligned with. And Seth gets the victory over CM Punk, over Roman Reigns in such a just phenomenal match. That right there was my moment of the year because of the energy, the hype, I can't believe this type of moment that you just rarely get these days when watching WWE products sometimes, most of the time anyway, as of late. And it was just a good story, and it wasn't spoiled, because a lot of times stuff gets spoiled before we get to see it. And so for it to unfold the way that it did, moment of the year for me. And even though I don't think the Vision went on to have as strong a year as I would have imagined coming off of that storyline, that moment was just memorable. It was like, that is probably the best part of WrestleMania from this year, was that specific match and that specific moment.
That's a really good moment. I as you and HB Prince, you so eloquently told the story, especially when you were saying he been down and then I was like, yeah. And it's crazy. Everything you said, I envisioned it, and I said, this is beautifully said here by HB Prince. Go to Eric Knight. Eric Knight, what is your moment of the year, sir, in 2025?
Man, my moment of the year. I mean, I gotta take it to the point where parts of my childhood was talked to. Parts of my childhood said, hold on, are you doing what I think you're doing? Are you doing what we've been asking for the last 10, 15 years? Are you doing what we're saying you're gonna do? And this was a moment, I swear, like, I remember you and me, Mr. Xclusive, we talked about it the night it happened. Even the night in the little press conference. The Never Seen 17, turning heel. Man, talk about a moment. Talk about a point in time when I said, ain't no way. John Cena, first of all, this was what was just crazy to me. John Cena talking, just sitting there with Cody. Everything the way even John reacted to everything Cody was saying, he seemed excited, like he was on the side with Cody. And then for everything to happen, this man's whole face just changed. It was like, what? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, now don't get me wrong. A little bit post after that, Not what some of the stuff that happened with the Never Seen 17 happened. I wanted some other stuff to happen with my man John, but it's okay. But this particular moment, and it felt so special to me because that was on my birthday. So I was like, oh nah, this might have been the best birthday ever right here. I said, John, you did something special for me. I didn't know you was still raising me, man. No, I'm sorry. I was not. But no, man, yeah, that for me was definitely the moment for 2025 for me. John Cena, Never Seen 17.
It's a great moment. And it's so crazy because you were right. Everybody was waiting. Like for years, we were like, if it ever happens, man, it's gonna be crazy. We thought we was gonna get it. Maybe the NW or they teased it years ago with the NWO with Bray Wyatt. I was like, wouldn't that be cool if they did that? Then they said it was gonna happen a while back, and it didn't happen. He had a theme song for it. We still didn't get that, but I'm not gonna harp too much on that just right, at this current time. But it was a great moment. Now, my favorite moment may be a little bit of a shocker, but my favorite moment was AJ Lee returning. And it was because as soon as I heard it, and it was one of those moments like you knew it was coming. This is one of those things they couldn't hide. They hinted at it, but as soon as you hear the music and she comes out smiling, doing what AJ Lee does, and the pop that she got, that jank was top notch. I'm getting a cold chill now, even thinking about it. It's something about AJ Lee. Like, it's hard to find wrestlers that have that much of an impact on people and maybe don't do as much or has done as much in their career that you think. Like, multiple time champion. She has done a lot for the industry. But when I saw people crying, I was like just looking on internet posts, and there's influencers, wrestling influencers, people who crying. Like, you could legit tears. But they knew she was coming at some point. They knew she was probably coming at that moment. And it didn't matter. Like, you could feel the energy as soon as she hit that ring. The music played for like another 5 or 6 minutes, before she even did anything. And it was just like, wow, man, AJ Lee's back. And it's cool. And even now, she's only been back maybe like a couple times. She's only made a couple of appearances since that match. But every time
she did the War Games.
Yeah, she was at War Games. Yeah. So whenever you hear the music hit, you're like, and it's just something about AJ Lee. If somebody was going to have aura, and if you want to say who has aura, how do you define that person? AJ Lee is that person. So that moment for me was pretty cool. And there's a lot of great moments throughout the year, but it was something about AJ Lee returning. And I remember sitting in that chair and just getting like and I sat there and watched it. I hit the rewind button and waited for I'm over here like, yeah, come on, let's go. So AJ Lee, you get mine on that one moment of the year. So that's my girl, and I'm hoping to hear it a few more times. Maybe we'll hear it at the Rumble because that's what it'll probably be the next time we hear it. But maybe next week. I don't even know. Who knows? They may shock us with that. All right, so there it is. Our honorable mentions are out of the way. Now we're going to go to the main course of our award ceremony, and we're going to start off with PLE of the year. Now, I am going to piggyback off something that Mr. Eric Knight had said. And my PLE of the year is going to be Elimination Chamber. And I pick Elimination Chamber for a couple of reasons. Now, there was only 4 matches, there was only 4 matches. And 3 of those matches to me were bangers. You had Sammy taking on Kevin Owens, the sexiest last name in the game. And that match was just an absolute just dogfight, which they always do. Then you had Bianca Belair coming through, getting the dub and winning the women's elimination chamber. Sorry, it didn't go the way we all wanted it to go, at the bigger pay-per-view at the WrestleMania. And then, of course, John Cena winning. I didn't expect Cena to win. There was a part of me that said maybe he wins. But the way they did it, it was beautiful. It was poetic, especially after watching Unreal and getting the chance to realize what the strategy was behind it, and knowing that Punk put it all, his ideas, him and Seth and all them just getting together and putting it together. It was something about it that made it special. And then, of course, the turn had everybody hyped for WrestleMania. And then to me, I was like, this is what a great pay-per-view. And then, of course, it leads to nothing. But that's besides the point. If we're going to do disappointments of the year, WrestleMania 41, disappointment of the year. And it's no contest. I think everybody would kind of agree that WrestleMania 41 was probably a disappointment of the year. But
Night 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Night 2 specifically. Like Night 2. But yeah, so that's what I'm going with. Elimination Chamber. And I explained this a little bit to E earlier. About it's hard for me because in my New Year's resolution is to get better at being a little bit more productive in the AEW realm. So yes, I went WWE, but my fellas here, I think if you're an AEW fan, you may be pleased. Eric Knight, what is your pay-per-view of the year?
Man. My pick for this year for the pay-per-view of the year. They should be called PLE because it really was All in Texas. Come on, man. All in Texas. We want to talk about aura. You want to talk about storyline. You want to talk about how good did this get? Man, come on. This was truly probably the best. You couldn't tell me, first of all, if we're just looking on the card alone, that whole card, first of all, before anything happened, one of the saddest moments happened. My man Adam Cole announced that he had to drop his title, okay? And he told us he might be away for a while, and he don't know how long. That was probably the most heartbreaking thing to me. That hurt my soul. But we got it back. Because then even after that, man, Dustin Rhodes, became the new TNT champion at that. Then they just kept going. Then it went crazy. Okay, we seen the EVPs go up against Swerve and Will Ospreay. We seen Kenny Omega going up against Okada. Mind you, this is something that was just like, yo, come on. This wasn't no regular night. And by the way, they started this at 2 o'clock. If you was on the East Coast, it started 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Best Saturday ever. By the time it was over, it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock. You could still go out and do something. Best thing ever. And of course, come on, the ending of the ending of the show. Adam Hangman Page beating John Moxley, opening the briefcase. There were grown men crying.
Mm-hmm.
People were in tears. You want to talk about tears? Man, what? Grown men. My man, shout out to my man Mid-South from Hills of Life podcast. He'll tell you he was there. He's actually on the Adam Hangman Page documentary. With him high-fiving a random person when Adam Hangman Page won the title. People were crying in tears. They haven't seen that title in 9 months. And that man got the job done. I said, man, this was a great pay-per-view, man. That was, man. So many more moments I could talk about. But hey, I again, y'all know if you've seen the pay-per-view, if you haven't, check it out on HBO Max, man. You will not, you'll definitely understand where I'm coming from.
And the crazy thing about it, it was a great wrestling weekend overall. Because if I'm not mistaken, you had Evolution that happened the night after that, and then you had Saturday night's main event, which, but Evolution was.
And then NXT had the Great
NXT had one
American Bash.
And NXT had one, so it was a great,
that was a very busy week.
Great weekend of wrestling. HB Prince, give us your pay-per-view of the year.
What I love about this is the fact that, we got to send this in to you, Mr. Exclusive, for you to create the match card or the graphics and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't get to see what we picked, E and I picked. And the fact that we were on the same exact page, my pay-per-view of the year, just like he said, it's AEW's All in Texas. He's already hit on, most of why that pay-per-view was great. But I want to hit on just a couple of different things just to change it up a little bit, because within that, we got Timeless Tony Storm versus Mercedes. At the time, I believe it was 9 belts, Monet. And just to see her, the way she came out to the ring, She had all the different people wearing a title to the ring, and it was like, oh Lord, is she getting ready to take out Timeless Tony Storm, the slut you can't rebut, the the tramp that's still our champ. You know, is she gonna take out Timeless Tony Storm? And she didn't. It was a great match, but then the match that I just can do on repeat, it is none other than the Young Bucks versus Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. And it was for the EVP titles. And earlier when in the year when we did our preview for this, and I was like, I think it's a dumb stipulation. They're just going to do the EVPs. Like, we're really going to have Swerve and Will Ospreay be EVPs. I just can't see this happening. The Bucks are the EVPs. And for them to lose the EVP titles, and then and the match that they lost it the way it was, just the sheer athleticism, the match ending, the super kicks, they were beating Swerve to death on the ropes, just kicking his face in. Will Ospreay comes in for the save. It was like it was so much back and forth, and at one point the back and forth was so crisp. It wasn't like they were waiting and trying to wait and pause and wait for the next move. It was just move after move after move, and in a finish. And for Will and Swerve to win it, and then to see the story that came out of it with the Bucks fall from grace, literally a play from Obafemi's finisher. But it was just phenomenal. I mean, the Bucks went from the EVPs to the Broke Bucks, and the journey they took us on, all because of what happened at All in Texas, was just magnifique. Like we talked about, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Patriarchy and Jet Speed. That match, phenomenal.
God,
we heard people. Oh my God! I mean, just
we heard people.
And Brody Lee and Bandito.
Brody Lee, Bandito. Like, it was
won
just
the freaking match. It was insane.
Won it. And it was insane. That pay-per-view. I'd be remiss not to mention Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega for the Unified Championship. I mean, it was just a banger on all levels. AEW's All in Texas, was the pay-per-view of the year, and the icing on the cake was John Moxley and Hangman Page. You talk about a match card, and you're like, how can you top what happened tonight? And then you had that. So, yeah.
Hey, WWE, you got some work to do. You got a job, baby. You want to figure it out. I'm telling you, look, everybody sees it. Everybody sees the work AEW has done over the last couple of years, and they're catching them. And it's like, yeah, money wise, WWE up there, they got the notoriety. But when it comes to pure wrestling,
man, pure wrestling, AEW, man,
it's gonna be a little bit tough because I am the game. They got to watch out.
NXT. If you talk about pure wrestling, you give me some AEW NXT.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And if you just love wrestling, there you are. That's all you need. So there it is, our PLEs of the year. So for the WWE crowd, you got Elimination Chamber, and of course for AEW. And I'm going to agree with the guys, probably the overall best pay-per-view of the year in Texas, and All in Texas by AEW. So shout out to AEW for a great pay-per-view, and I think they've got many, many more to come. All right,
man, shout out to you, E, for being on the same page. I was wondering what you were going to pick.
Adam Page.
I said, what is he picking? What is he going to pick?
Yeah, man, because I feel like that was just the best one. Because even like I think was a Sports Illustrated, they said double or nothing. I was like, nah, all in.
Double or nothing was good, but all in was
double nothing. It was great. Like, but I was like, all in just had the magic, that moment, everything. Now I was like, they had it. See.
I knew it.
I know, bro.
That's nighttime.
Knew.
That's just nighttime. All the nighttime festurations. All those great episodes of nighttime just combining together in one greatness. That's it. That's what that is. That's what that is. Shameless plug if you get an opportunity to head over and watch Nighttime here on the Legacy Mega Sports Network, and of course on the Exclusive Night Podcast YouTube page. Make sure you check it out. Okay, shameless plug. Now, let's talk about our storylines of the year. We're going to do both men and women. And this is a little bit different. So I'm gonna put up the first graphic here, and this is for the women. This is who we had for storylines of the year. On the women's side, for your boy. I know, right? I'm telling you, you guys were clicking.
Crazy.
You guys were clicking.
This is insane.
So storyline of the year for myself, and I know it ended around like March, or it was like around the March, April time before Mariah May had went away on to WWE. But for me, it's the combination of what they did leading up to that point into the beginning part of that year. They had 2 great matches before she left that happened during this year. And the Hollywood ending was just a masterpiece.
It was.
I mean, it told a story of stories. And for me, and this is weird, y'all, I have the AEW one on this one.
Yeah.
So that tells you like, but for me, y'all know how much I love Toni Storm and the magic that those 2 women made leading up into that match and finishing the way it did. And Toni Storm essentially sending Mariah May off to WWE, and now the Blake Monroe that we all know and love. And I just thought that for me, that was the best women's storyline. I know they kind of combined from last year to this year, but for me, nothing has topped it for me. But you guys who seem to be on the same page here, that was my number 2. So Eric, I'll go with you first. Tell us why Naomi's turn on Jade and Bianca was that moment for you.
Oh man, honestly, man, look. Where do I begin? I mean, really, honestly, I think for me was the pure confusion that Naomi really tried to give at Elimination Chamber. Like she had no idea what was going on. And then just kind of finding out it was Naomi the whole time. Her coming back, and then just kind of seeing the reemergence of a new version of Naomi, man, and then just see where it led to. I'm saying this amount so I can give Heartbreak Prince a little bit more to give, because I could say a whole bunch, but literally I think there was so much greatness within that, the emotion, the story, especially with and I know a lot of people would agree with Naomi and Bianca, that SmackDown where they were literally, I mean, having a whole conversation, and you see Naomi just crying and tearing and all that. I mean, the magic that was there, and it's still and it's still continuing right now because Jade is doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I think so far this is still my favorite one, but they better do something more with Jade. I know Bianca better. I think she's coming back for that Rumble. I think she's coming back, and we're gonna see a continuation of this. But yeah, that was my favorite one for this year for the women, man. Great stuff.
HB Prince, they say exclusive minds think alike. It seems to be the case here for nighttime. Tell me why you went with Naomi and Jade and Bianca.
I'm calling this a hive mind thing. I swear to you, Mr. Exclusive, my initial thought was Mariah May and Timeless Toni Storm. The only reason why I did not pick it was because I just did not feel like I was battling. I was like, well, do you consider that to be a 2025 storyline? Because it kind of ended in 2025. Right. So I was going back and forth, but that was my top choice. But it was in the conversation about it, I was talking to my wife and she said, well, what about Naomi? And I was like, you know what? That's it.
Why not?
Because Naomi, that story, and to me, it was the transformation, like E said a minute ago, from the razor blades being put in her hair, the backstage segments and promos, the whole proceed with caution, greatness. The little troll thing she would put out when she won the briefcase, she'd open it to be a pair of panties or whatever else.
She was doing the most.
She was doing the most, and it was just all showing this unhinged character to the point of the segment where she was in Bianca Belair's house, going through like her parents' house, like that whole thing, and it culminated in her actually winning the championship. Unfortunately, we did not get the proceed with caution reign because she became pregnant, and so she had to kind of relinquish the title. But that storyline was probably the best female storyline going this year. it was a toss up for me between Timeless Tony Storm and then also between Timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné. But I felt like Naomi's storyline and the transformation that we got from Naomi was phenomenal. But my favorite storyline, if you want to bridge the 2024-2025, hands down, Timeless Tony Storm and Mariah May's storyline is hands down the best storyline. Just in the way that it ended, the Hollywood ending was everything. That was probably one of the greatest female professional women's wrestling storylines told that I could think of in my time of watching wrestling.
Yeah, and it's the crazy thing, Jade and Bianca also came from 2024. And thank goodness for that. They were able to go a little bit longer on that front. But that's great storytelling, Yeah. So Triple H, you can do it. See, you can do it. You still kind of fumbled in the end a little bit. Maybe it still could be long term because there's some injuries here and there, and it still can culminate. When some people come back from pregnancy, we'll see. We'll see. There's still hope. Maybe SummerSlam. Maybe by SummerSlam. Maybe. But so there it is. Those are our storylines for the female side, and like I said, great minds think alike. The men's one is just a little bit interesting. Now,
you better not pick the same thing again.
I don't.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
So
there's no way.
We head to the men's side, and I'm gonna explain myself, y'all. I'm gonna explain myself here. Look,
you're insane, sir. You're insane.
I'm gonna tell you why I picked it. So, even though I don't agree that the storyline went the way it should have, we cannot say that the storyline did not keep our attention from beginning of the year up until now.
We beginning to 365 days
of the year. And the same old love. So that's a little needle for y'all. Don't
all
know.
I wanna do is just
love
with you.
Same old love. So even though there were so many good moments in there and so many moments in there, I feel like we saw the R-Truth debacle that happened within there that probably didn't go the way it should have. We did get a chance to see him and Randy go at it one more time. We got a chance to see him and AJ Styles go at it, which was one of the matches that I had in there, and no puns intended, but phenomenal there by AJ Styles in that match. Even with the Gunther match, a lot of people talked bad about it. The people hated the fact that he lost. He wasn't going to win, guys.
Yeah,
just for you fans out there, he wasn't going to win. But it's done its job, and Gunther is extremely hated right now every time he mentions or messes around and says things about John Cena. So it did the job it needed to do. We got a chance to see, Basic Thugonomics come back in a way that not in the way I would have liked to see it come back, but we did get a chance to see it. We got to see him in Punk one more time. We got to see him in Lesnar. Didn't care too much about that, but I felt like overall, even though it may have not went the way we wanted it, to me, it was the storyline that captivated us from the Royal Rumble all the way until December, 2 days before the sexiest day of the year. So I went with John Cena's retirement tour, and it was tough because I'm telling you guys, I was not thrilled with my decision, but I was like, I'm going to go with that and call it a day. HB Prince, I'm going to go with you next. Your men's storyline of the year.
Man, I want to give you some credit because that was a tough one. That was my initial thought, but I had to go with Adam Hangman Page and John Moxley. So we almost went like 3 for 3. But the reason why I did that at the end of the last minute change was because of the fact that I had to put it in the perspective of like what this match did for AEW, AEW All in Texas, the lead up to it, what John Moxley's whole story arc was about, which is about weeding out complacency, weakness in wrestling, and making like it was about being real wrestlers, real professional wrestlers, real champions. And he wanted to kind of make like the real people the people that wanted it the most, like really stand up. And Adam Hangman Page had to kind of stand up and put, his feet in it, strap on his boots and go at it and go for broke, like to the point that we saw him, buckshot lariat, Marina Shafir, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, he hit a girl!" But it was the links. It was the what he had to do. It was what Jon Moxley was trying to drive him to do in order to be what he considered a champion or a person worthy of being a champion. It was the whole like, to be a champion, I will do anything. I will go through anybody. I will like it. It meant that much. And what he did by putting that championship in a briefcase and not showing the championship for 9 months, people, me, including me, wonder what the hell was in that briefcase. Is the title really in that briefcase? Is Jon Moxley playing with all of our minds? You know, it the story of it all was just phenomenal. And then when Hangman Page decided he wanted to do the Texas Death Match, and you knew, like, he talked about like his first time being a champion, how it he really didn't understand like the weight and the pressure it takes like to carry a brand and a business. And this is why Jon Moxley was so great in this run, is because he kind of was doubling down on that, on the idea of like, look, we got too many people around here that feel like they're champions or think they're champions or think they're championship quality, but they're not willing to do what it takes to be a real champion. They're not willing to put their bodies on the line in a way that it would take day in and day out, night in and night out for these fans, for the people. They're not willing to be hated. They want to do what they want to do everything that is like, what is the word? Culturally right or culturally accepted or whatever.
PG.
And yeah, PG.
Politically correct.
Like politically correct. Thank you. And that's what he was trying to break. And I think he did a great job with it, because it took Hangman to the brink. I mean, he even had to come to grips with Swerve Strickland. I mean, like all the storylines that kind of got weaved in there about like what he did to Swerve and what Swerve did to him. And then, that leads into this match, and Swerve comes out and helps Adam Hangman Page. The Darby Allin comes out and helps.
I remember the conversation. The conversation had on Collision before.
The conversation,
all that,
yeah, with the chain, like with the chains, like it was just it. I know I'm all over the place. All these things are popping into my head just about the story of it, because it was just so dope the way that they did everything.
Really
like
was.
How they took all the stories of like 2024, started weaving them in together, building Hangman Page up back to this confident guy, because he was a shell of himself like throughout 2024 and into 2025. He was trying to find himself, find what it meant to be a champion. And it all culminated in that Texas Death Match. And what they did in that Texas Death Match, from the forks to the head to just a memorable moment of Hangman Page tying the belt around Moxley's neck, tossing him over the top rope. Moxley's dangling over the rope like
and Achilles, man.
Belt, and he had to tap. Like Moxley had to tap, and the crowd erupts because we all know what it means. Like, we finally get to open the briefcase, and I'm like, it's not gonna be in this briefcase. That belt's not gonna be the briefcase. Moxley's gonna play another joke. And Adam Hangman Page opens the briefcase, and that big AEW championship was literally inside of that briefcase. And he takes it out, and you talk about grown men crying, fans going crazy. There's blood all over the ring from just the crazy match that took place.
The carnage, all
of it, and all of like the Daniel Bryan coming in and helping out, like all the people that Swerve coming in at the end to help out, like all of it, the way it all culminated, all these stories came together, and then the stories that came out of that. The whole feud with Darby Allin and Jon Moxley, like that came out of that. Like it was insane. That was my men's storyline of the year because of what it did, what it felt. And then Adam Hangman Page's run as champion, like the way he came out night in and night out, the mic work, it was phenomenal. And I just have to give it to him. That's why they got the edge, because the jobber's journey was magnifique, but it was a journey of jobbers. Like they literally made jobbing the thing. This was for the marbles. This was for the brand of AEW. Hey, I never thought in my life that somebody could make the job of a jobber sexy, but the Young Bucks managed to pull it off. So shout out to them. But this was bigger, because it was about a champion. It was about AEW. It was about carrying the weight of a company. And I think that story just resonated well, and it ended the right way. And Adam Hangman Page, just went on to be just a phenomenal champion for 2025.
There it is. There it is. Beautiful. I'll tell you, the storytelling in this storyline, I'm over here like, yeah, tell us more. Tell us more. Tell us more.
Yeah, because you got to remember, just the month, real quick, just the year before, Swerve and Adam Hangman Page were at each other's throats. Like, Swerve went into Adam Hangman Page's
he burned his house down? Yeah.
So Adam Hangman Page returned the favor and burnt down like Swerve Strickland's childhood house. And then the match they had where they were fighting, and Adam Hangman Page drinks Swerve's blood, like busts him open and puts his head under the blood. It was insane. And the chain, like, it was insane. And then for them to like, hey, we need each other. I forgive you. Forgive me for how dark I became and what I did. And they found this bond, this friendship, and Swerve was the deciding factor and what put Adam Hangman Page over John Moxley and the Death Riders. Like, it was just a beautiful story.
Man, and it was beautifully told by H.B. Prince. Now, it was kind of mentioned, but Easy give us your male storyline of the year.
Man, come on, the Jobber's Journey. But see, this is why we said All In was the best pay-per-view of the year, because we already talked about Adam Hangman Page with John Moxley, how many stories that made. But let's really talk about the Young Bucks in this journey here. Okay, we're talking about guys that were the EVPs. First week back, immediately started getting no respect. These men had no limos. Okay, these guys was taking the Nissan Altima in an Uber. It was insane. They didn't have no real locker room. Nobody respected them. Then when they started showing them in catering, nobody was. They said, y'all don't want to talk. Everybody just look at them, laugh, walk off. We're your founding fathers. Nobody gave a damn. I love, man. Then the entrances. Come on.
Hey, yo, the entrances was probably the funniest part. I'm not gonna lie to you,
man. And the story they was telling with those already, how they kind of was showing like their very first names. Like, come on, like Slick Nick. Yeah. I said, man, what I'm trying to think of what match was, but even like showing them not even getting real pyro coming out, people were just booing them. I said, oh, this was so good. That even them trying to get like just trying to get back to even getting money. When they got the money right, then Matt Nick's out here trying to double the money, losing the damn money, gambles the money away. Can't even get the money right. That's a whole problem. I said, man, this is great. Then they get to the point where now you're out here trying to make a deal with Don Callis. When you making the deal with Don Callis, you at your ultimate damn low at that point, bro. You at your low. And they knew they was, bro. That's why they said, man, look, we ain't trying to say we part of y'all, but we just work with y'all from time to time. Man, that whole journey, I loved it. It was so much fun. Even like the callbacks they had when they had what was my man with the he had the little face mask and he used to spray the little cans. I can't think of his name. God.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Even when he seen them, like he looked at them like, screw you, Bucks. I said, yo, no respect. Renee used to just take him as a joke. I mean, oh my God. Even though they was giving Renee money, I said,
they gave Renee money.
And they still never asked for that money back, man.
Didn't Justin Roberts give him a really hard time too?
Oh my God! Then they super kicked Justin Roberts. Man, he sold that joint. He sold that. I love that. But even when Don Callis was even giving them money, then they started getting they started getting their entrances back. I ain't gonna lie, Don Callis doing the entrances for him, I was like, low key sounded top notch. Yeah, he really and then even with Don Callis, he's you're the Young Bucks. You're the best tag team of all time. I said, come on, Don, talk about it. Tell them the truth. Tell them what they already know.
Trying to save
them, man.
Trying to boost their heads up.
But it's just and it led to the greatness of the Elite coming back, and now we are seeing the Young Bucks, baby faces, back to doing what they doing best, giving us greatness with the wrestling god himself, the cleaner, Kenny Omega. Come on.
And that's the thing, man. Like good storylines. That's all we ask for, Triple H.
Yeah.
Just good storylines. We're not asking for a lot. Just storylines that make sense. Good ones. Not miserable ones. But I digress. I mean, you're gonna learn your lesson one day. So there it is. Those are our storylines. Some really good storylines in there. Felt really good about how some of those kind of panned out. And for the first time, these two they were on the same page, but they weren't quite there on that one. Now we head to our match of the year. We start with the women, and your boy, I kept it kind of the same here. Same vision here. Toni Storm and Mariah May, the Hollywood ending for me was the female match of the year. For me, I just love the way the story is told. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I've already kind of explained it, but I feel like those two set the stage of what you want in a rivalry. In a rivalry, this is exactly what you want from beginning to end, and so that's what I loved. And so for me, I'm going with Toni Storm, going with Mariah May. The Hollywood ending, it was a masterpiece, beautifully done by AEW. Shout out to them for the greatness that they bestowed upon us in that match. Eric Knight, I'm heading to you. And what do you got, man? Match of the year.
Come on, you see what it is. The women's blood and guts match. Okay, that was on a regular schedule, Dynamite. That was even something that should have been a freaking pay-per-view. As good as that match was, the amount of stories that were told in there, and the amount of stories that were already continuing. Okay, there was a women's tag team tournament going on in the midst of this happening. Okay, Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander had a whole situation going on. Okay, Timeless Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa had a whole thing going on with the Sisters of Sin. That was the whole thing. Willow and Harley had a thing with the Sisters of Sin. I mean, this was insane. Megan Bain, Marina Shafir. Come on. First of all, they threw a whole full glass mirror at my girl Toni Storm. Full speed.
Treat my girl like a stepchild. What are we doing?
Insane. And then that same mirror, Marina Shafir, seen that on the ground, stepped
Just
on that
walks
joint.
on it. Yikes.
And just stomped on it. By the way, one thing I love, my girl Mercedes Moné drank a little bit of champagne before she went to the cage. I said, man, come on. That's a CEO for you, boy. I said, that's how you do it, bro. But yeah, that, to me, man, that was the best women's match, I think, of 2025. I mean, those women over-delivered. And then again, the stories that were told in that match and that still continued after that, it's just greatness. Loved it.
And they tried to kill my girl Mia at the end of that bad boy, man. I'm like, what we got going on here? What? They tried to take my girl out.
Megan Bain was going crazy.
I was like, yo, Megan,
Just
slow
vetoed
down,
that
baby.
strap. Yeah.
Leave her alone. And then Tony tried
That's
to come over there and
say,
favorite.
like, what are we doing, baby? Like, don't hurt her. Come on. But I digress. We head to HB Prince. Give him your match of the year, sir, for the women.
Just really quick. I don't think I need a whole lot of explaining, but for me, I picked Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky from WrestleMania 41. I just thought that match was just a phenomenal match. These women put on a killer show. The athleticism, the feats of strength that was shown, like it was just phenomenal. The storyline behind it, kind of like how it's all put together, where Io ends up winning the title right before WrestleMania, so kind of included her in this. But the real back and forth kept really seeming to be between Bianca and Rhea, and they kept just overlooking Io, and it was like, hey, don't overlook Io. Io had to kind of really step up and show why she is champion, and then for her to come out on top and remain champion over those two ladies, just phenomenal all the way through. So I have to tip the cap to those three ladies for the match they put on this year at WrestleMania 41, and that's why I chose them as my. And it has pretty much 3 of my favorite women wrestlers, all in one match. So you can't complain. But that is my female wrestling match of the year.
These are all good matches. Like I felt like when I was
Yeah.
looking at the list, obviously I had a peek here, and I'm like, these you can't go wrong with this list. These are just exclusive minds thinking great, and I loved every bit. So the storyline heading up to the EO match, I remember just being so upset. I'm like, what are they doing here? Like I remember we all talked about it on the show. It was like, what are they doing? This is just terrible. But then they gave us a phenomenal match, and I'm like, all right, we'll let all that crap you had coming up to this, we'll push that out the way. But a great match. It was a great match overall. Probably the best match or the second best match of that WrestleMania. And it really just depends on where you float your boat on that one. But it was definitely top two. It was definitely top 2 of WrestleMania 41. Now we swing to the men's side. And on the men's side, all right, so for me, I went with the Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY SmackDown April 25th. Now we all fussed. We fussed. We were pissed that the Street Profits did not get an opportunity to have this match at WrestleMania. Why? Because it was a banger, and it had everybody just on their feet screaming. I remember just sitting there watching. I'm like, this is what should have been. And if this was the match, if it had been on WrestleMania, it would have been the match of WrestleMania. Unfortunately, we had to wait a week and watch it on SmackDown. And it didn't get the shine it deserved to have in front of all those people out there in Vegas. It deserved it. It deserved to be out there in front of all those people, and we didn't get a chance to give it. And they kind of made up for it at SummerSlam, kind of. It wasn't the same.
But it wasn't the same. They
knew
they did us wrong.
No, they knew they did us wrong. And so Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY. You got my men's match of the year, and I know that's a little bit maybe out there a little bit for some, but that's what I went with.
No, that was an excellent match.
HB Prince, what do you got match of the year, brother?
I got it. I talked about it already. It's Young Bucks versus Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. I said it back when this whole match happened in All In Texas, even though when we did the review of it, as much as I loved Adam Hangman Page and John Moxley's match and the blood and guts behind it all, if you just talk about sheer entertainment and a match of just 4 phenomenal athletes, just going at it. Will Ospreay, my favorite #1 male wrestler in the world right now. And then you throw in Swerve Strickland. That man is just, his aura is over 9,000. You go in the that's red, yeah. Let's go eat.
Prince Nana is a fool, bro.
Prince Nana is that dude, but and then you toss him in there with the Bucks, and just the way that they put that whole match went, like I said, with Swerve having to save Will Ospreay having to save Swerve, the super kicks. The way they just was, the Young Bucks were just kicking the face of Swerve in, like it was just the finale of that match. The last like 2 to 5 minutes of that match went just bonkers. And I said it in the review from All In Texas that was my favorite match, just barely, just the slimmest of margins, edging out Adam Hangman Page and John Moxley. And so that is my match of the year for the men's side of things. And I want to shout out to Trick, Oba, and Javon Evans, because that was in there as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, remember when I don't know if it was in the same match. That might have been afterwards. Remember when Oba threw Javon Evans out of the ring onto the I was like, Jesus Christ, Oba. I was like, where you going, bro? We was trying to send my guy to the Lord. It was crazy work.
Yeah.
And shout out to Javon Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Last night on NXT being named NXT male athlete of the year. I mean, superstar of the year, and it's super deserved. And that was voted by the fans, ladies and gentlemen. So shout out to Javon, man. It was much love. Easy E, here it is, brother. Match of the year. Tell them about it.
Man, look, I had to, when we're talking about some of the best matches of the year, I had to sit here and say, I can easily look into the Continental Classic and what was one of the best matches where I didn't know who was going to win this. People said it's probably going to be Kyle Fletcher, but it was not Kyle Fletcher. And it just past that. I mean, we're talking about so many near falls. We're talking about the amount of spots, the accurate kicks from my man Speedball, Mike Bailey. I mean, come on. Kyle Fletcher, the proto star. I mean, my God. But again, just to keep this one short and simple, because I mean, if you've seen the match, that match was 100% fire. I mean, just the amount of and the athleticism out of both of those guys. Even the spot where Speedball had hit his little backflip knee right onto Kyle Fletcher. I said, my goodness, what is going on here? So many times when I thought that match was over and it truly wasn't. And then the way that Mike Bailey like kind of hit, really kind of paused but folded up Kyle Fletcher to get that rolling pin in for him from him. I said, man, this was so good of a match. Definitely have to say, for me, Kyle Fletcher going up against Speedball Mike Bailey was my match of the year, man.
We hope y'all agree with our greatness because we know wrestling, y'all. We could have easily said, well, what about CM Punk and and John Cena? No, we're not going there with the matches. I mean, look, a great match when you see one. And of course the Xclusive Minds have that in mind for you. Now I'm gonna make a small maneuver here. We're gonna go to our champions of the year. And so it's so funny for champions of the year because when I'm telling you for the male superstar, we are all on the same page.
This is insane. This is insane.
And it's absolutely crazy. But we'll start off with your boys, champions of the year.
Come on.
And
that's crazy.
Your boy decided to go with Oba Femi. Look, we've seen what Oba has done, and I spelled Oba's name wrong, so I apologize, Oba. You beat me later. No, did it. I just realized that. But Oba Femi, what he did this year, and what we got a chance to see at John Cena's final, match of the year, all that fun stuff. We see a superstar on the horizon, y'all. Like, it's there. Everybody's talking about the greatness. Like, you can feel the shift of where he was prior to that match in that week before up until where it is right now. He's about to be a big time player on the next level. So shout out to Obi Femi, because I don't know why I did that. Typing fast. So shout out to him. He is my male champion of the year. And then look, 14 titles. Am I correct at the number at this point? Well, she had 14. And she had 14, and that's Mercedes Moné. A lot of people want to trash Moné for who she is. A lot of it, we know a lot of reason why she gets trashed. And y'all know I ain't gotta say it too loud, but we know why. If you go in those comment sections, they talk crazy. They talk crazy about Mercedes Moné, and a lot of hate comes her way. But when you talk about somebody who can get in the ring, not only make herself look good, but also make whoever's in the ring with her look good, that is a lost art at times that I think people really forget about. It is very critical. Yes, you want to look good in the ring, but you want to make your opponent look just as good in the ring, especially if they are not up to your level. And who does that on a night-to-night basis? CEO. That's Mercedes Moné. Those are my two champions of the year. And next, we're going to Mr. Eric Knight. And I guess what? Your boy got the same vision on that one.
This is crazy.
Eric, tell us about your champions of the year, brother.
Come on, man. If we're going to talk about a real champ, somebody that's been dominant, it has been the Ruler. This man has had probably the best matches, title defenses this year. Even the match he had with Jasper Troy, that was even great. Okay. But nah, man, look, Oba killed it this year. One of my favorite matches, of course, and we talked about it earlier, the triple threat. Him, Trick, Javon. That was probably one of my favorite matches of this year as well. And Oba has been over-delivering. You see what he's doing. The shift is happening. Come on, we talking about Oba Femi. And, of course, Mercedes Moné. It's the CEO. Honestly, the year she's been having has been amazing. Right now, who knows? She might have just lost her title to Willow right now. Okay, as we speak.
Oh no, she could have lost that belt.
She could have, because she's facing Willow tonight, so she could have lost that title right now for as we speak. But we'll see what happens with that. But either way, Mercedes has been doing a great, amazing job this year, just like you was talking about, Mr. Exclusive. I mean, she's made everybody else look good. She has elevated this women's division. She's elevated every single title. And every woman that has got the title from her since now, look at what's happened. Red Velvet got the rub. You see what happened with Alex Windsor. You see how that's been going on. And you know what else? If Willow won tonight, I'm going to tell you right now, you see already the rub she's been getting already with her and Harley Cameron. Come on. Mercedes she really is that CEO. And honestly, yeah, that's my pick. I don't think there was a better pick for these two right here.
See, and once again, exclusive minds think alike, because we go to my guy H.B. Prince, and guess what? He's still in the mix. Tell us about your champions of the year, brother.
Hey, I had to cheat on this one, fellas. I know we like pick one, but I had to when it came to the men. There was just no way I could get rid of either one of these two guys. I mean, Adam Hangman Page, I had to have him in there because of what he did this year, the year he had for AEW, and how I just felt like it was so important to the brand of AEW to have an Adam Hangman Page storyline that they have with John Moxley, and then have him win and carry the brand the way he did, night in and night out, and then the phenomenal matches he put in, and the title defenses that he had. I could not overlook Adam Hangman Page. And I had been saying it throughout most of the year that Adam Hangman Page had been my pick for champion of the year. But it all came to a head about a month ago, where the ruler, the destroyer, the bringer of war, returned back into the ring in front of Ricky Saints and cut the promo that he cut, and then went on to win the championship and talked about how everything was how it's supposed to be, him being back with the belt and being the ruler, and then the match he had with Cody. And I just thought, this man has carried the NXT brand this year and done it, and just has done it so well. It has just been so phenomenal. He is like my favorite wrestler going right now in the business. When you talk about just having it all, when you talk about the mic work, when you talk about the aura, when you talk about the in-ring matches, just the stories behind the way he tells stories when he's talking on the mic is just phenomenal. Talking about the shift. When he talked about the shift in WWE, I said, I felt the tectonic plates move, literally, over. I felt the tectonic plates move.
I love it.
I mean, I'm talking about the root. He's the reason I'm wearing the beads.
That's the reason.
This dude is just phenomenal. Oba is just my dog. I just love this dude. And I mean, even the match with Slater, the back and forth he had with Slater the other night, just smooth. I got to give it to Oba. Oba and Adam Hangman Page, y'all are just the top of champions of the year. Y'all both deserve it. And Mercedes Moné, we don't have to say anything more. The lady is she is money. And we're going to leave it at that.
There it is. Our champions of the year and our end of the year. And, I feel really good. I felt really good. When I saw the list, I said, okay, once again, just exclusive minds right on top of the game. I was like, it's crazy that we all had the same vision on that one. And I was like, and remember, we talked last week on the show. We said, hey, we all have to pick that we agreed at the end of the show, we were talking post show that, hey, we're all gonna, we're gonna agree on the champion. Guess what, guys? We didn't talk about it. We never talked about it. We just skipped it over, and everybody had the same one. So I was like, hey, look, I'm just saying. I mean, we know a little something. We know a little something.
I expect us to have more of a fight.
No fight. And I remember saying, I remember when we before we got off of the before we left off, I was like, man, I don't know how we're gonna do that because that's gonna be tough. And, well, guess what? We didn't even try, and there's your answer right there for you. Yeah. So we're getting a little bit closer and closer to the end here, but we still got a couple of more great awards to go. And now we're gonna start with our breakout star of the year, and I'm gonna go ahead and go first on this one. Oh, actually, we're gonna go HB Prince on this one breakout. Look, spelled it right this time. Hey,
Let's go.
what's up now? HB
Hey,
Prince, tell them about your breakout stars of the year.
So, I've been saying for a minute, all I wanted for Christmas was a devil's kiss. I had to go with my girl Stephanie Valker, as Naomi would say, and just because I just thought overall her year was just amazing. Like, I know right now her world title reign has not really lived up to really the hype it should, because they just don't
Triple
have
H,
a lot going around. Yeah, going on with her right now as they should. But that doesn't change the fact that when she's in the ring, she's so over with the crowd. Everybody's waiting for the devil's kiss. Like, it's just the girl, when she gets to the point she's doing the devil's kiss, she's just smiling and laughing because she knows it's what we all want. And we all just want to go, ah, 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 ah. Like, hey, shout out to Booker T, because he has put that. I believe in Joe Hendry. Hey, Booker is on something else. That dude right there, shout out to Booker, but he has just put the devil's kiss over the moon and on the map. And I just, Stephanie Valker, she went from being the women's North American champion to the NXT champion to now the world heavyweight champion, or not heavyweight champion, the women's champion in WWE. And so I just think breakout star of the year, and she did it all within the year. It seems like what she entered NXT in March time frame. I want to say maybe June, maybe
was sometime at the end of last year, or it was something crazy like that. But she
had, and remember, it was crazy. She had the New Japan Strong Women's Champion and lost it to Mercedes Moné.
Yep.
And that was the first title that Mercedes got.
Yeah. Yep. And so it's just, like her year has been phenomenal through WWE. So I had to put her on there as breakout star. I love Stephanie. I think she's phenomenal. And the funny thing was, I thought it would be Julia, because I thought Julia, when she came in, she had a great aura. She was well on her way. And then Stephanie came in shortly after Julia and then just took off. And so, that's been a dope. And then, of course, do we even have to talk about the ruler? Do we even have to talk about the destroyer, the bringer of war, and soon to be the conqueror? Like, I mean, this dude is just that dude.
It's scary,
and he is by far my breakout star of the year. I just pray to God that when he goes to the main roster, it looks like it's going to be WWE Monday Night Raw, because I saw the preview at this last Raw Netflix show. They had the whole vignette of Obafemi, and they hyping him up. They look like they're doing it right, but they've got to keep it. They can't mess this up.
They better not mess it up.
You can't fumble this bag, Triple H. No matter what you do, you cannot fumble this bag. Okay,
you fumble this, I'm going to watch NWA. Period. Nothing else. That's NWA power.
Like,
that's it.
You cannot mess this up. You have a star just all the way. And so Obafemi, I can't say it again. The reason I wear the beads is because of the bringer of war himself, Oba.
The bringer of war is such a great nickname. It's insane.
It's phenomenal. I mean, it's just only thing he needs to put at the end is the conqueror. Like, that's what he's gonna be. Like, that dude is just. He is
a swag, bro.
The swag is just the bounce to the
and it's simple. That's the crazy. Like, it's not flashy. It's really just
yeah. That dude. I love him. I love his intro. I love the green, like the lights. Just how massive he is when he's standing there just breathing. And hey, Oba is just when. That dude, and then the music hit. I'm like, somebody is getting ready to be destroyed.
Somebody's going to get
music hurt. Itself. Somebody's getting ready to be hurt bad. Like, and then the fall from grace. I even love the name. Like, Oba's just got it all, man. Like, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, there it is. Your breakout stars for HB Prince. And now, let me see if I get it right this time, because it messed me up last time. Oh, there we go. Here we go. So now I think it'll be a trend, but I'll talk about it after Knight go. I went with my breakout star of the year, Trick Williams. Trick and A. Hollywood Trick. You know what? Better yet, Eric, say it for me, because Eric's gonna say it better than me.
Come on, man.
Who we talking about real quick?
Come on,
I get
man.
into
Y'all
my
already know what we're
explanation.
talking about. We talking about Hollywood Trick.
Yep.
2-brand Trick.
What?
First Class Trick.
What?
Trick and A.
What?
Trick Willy Wonka. Come on,
What?
man.
Nobody says it better than Eric. That's why I want to make sure Eric said. But look, Trick Williams is he's another star that's about to just really take a leap. What Oba's going to be for Raw is what Trick is going to be for SmackDown. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. You know, we saw a glimpse of it. Me and the Prince were talking about it last week when, the lemon pepper steppers and sitting up on the desk. And we talked about how, like, the energy. And we were praying that he would come back and say something to Cody. And I'm like, yeah, it's on. But what Trick Williams is going to bring to the next level is going to be crazy. And what we saw from him, it was something about giving people the title, that TNA championship, that gave these superstars like a different edge. We saw it a little bit with Kalani, and then we saw, obviously Trick, when he took it, he just took it to a whole nother level. And it was just like, I'm not gonna say he made the TNA championship relevant again, but he made the TNA championship relevant again. That's not, I'm trying not to knock TNA because I like what they've been doing lately, but man, Trick Williams is killing it. And I cannot wait to see what he does. And I cannot wait for that first time to hear dun, 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 because they're gonna go crazy.
Whoop that Trick.
So they're gonna go crazy.
Here's my card. 1-800 whoop that.
So shout out to Trick Williams. He gets my breakout star for the men. And for the females, Harley Cameron. Let me tell you something. There's something about her that, obviously she's got the looks and she's got a great smile. She's got a great energy. She can do it in the ring. She has what they like to call the complete package. You know what I'm saying? And like what she's doing right now, or what she's been doing for the last year, the thing that she was doing with the puppet with Mercedes Monet. You cannot tell me that was not gold.
Hey,
and I ain't gonna lie to you.
I used to forget. I used to tell people that the women's blood and guts match, it wasn't a 5-on-5. It was a 6-on-5.
It was 6-on-5.
Puppet Monet made a debut that night.
and that's the thing. Like what she's been able to do. Like that's what got me onto watching her. Because I remember, like, I was saying, oh, who is this young lady? And I wasn't like really fully paying attention. And then like she grabbed, her actions on the screen grabbed my attention. And I was like, yo, she's got it. Like, and I saw her cut promos and I'm like, man, it seems so natural to her. And I like the sky's the limit for her. I don't know if she wins, the AEW championship in the next year or so. That may be a little bit further down the road. But when she does become a singles champion, she's going to be phenomenal at it. Like with her and Willow Nightingale being the tag team champions, they picked the best people to really push that title. It almost reminds me of when Bayley and Sasha Banks won the title, because I felt like, okay, this is the perfect people to help build this title up. And of course, WWE fumbled because that's what they do best. And AEW, I think they hopefully will let these two women push these tag team titles to another level. And Harley Cameron is that chick for me. So she's my breakout star. I love what she's doing, man. Like she's absolutely phenomenal. So those are my breakout stars. Easy. Tell them about your breakout stars, baby.
Come on, man. I'm gonna do the ladies first, man. Look, Alex Windsor. I'm like, look, the work she's put in this year, the story she was telling with her and Mercedes Moné, all the work she was doing in Ring of Honor, the stuff she did, I believe, from New Japan. She's done so much stuff this year. And then to end it off, beating Mercedes Moné for the same title that she lost for. I said, man, come on. Turn around. I loved it. Everything that Alex Windsor has done this year, I'm 100% proud of her. I think she really deserved it. Granted, I wanted to give it to my girl Harley as well. But I said, if anybody really kind of shows something to me, I said, Alex Windsor, man. That was my breakout. And of course, come on. Young OG, Big Rob. You already know what it is, man. Look, thanks again for this year, man. We appreciate it. But yeah, had to be the young OG, man. I think he had a phenomenal year. Main evented, stand and deliver. Obviously, winning that the Iron Survivor the deadline match. Come on, the stuff he did in AAA, being on the main roster. I'm proud of that guy, man. He's doing it. He's doing everything he's supposed to be doing right now. So yeah, for him, he was my guy for this year, man.
And doing it well. I represent Queens.
But it raised out of yeah, it's crazy, bro. See, I know the whole song, which I shouldn't, because so I'm call me big. Nope, not now.
Hey, let's go.
Oh yeah, the candy rain. I guarantee you, shorty, it's real.
Yeah.
Stick it out. It comes up. Yeah. They're gonna blank the screen.
Yeah, I know.
We'll be back after these commercial messages.
Oh my god.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, our breakout stars. And look, and this group that I think that we did a really good job here. And I thought it was funny that on the, we talk about that triple threat match, in NXT with Javon, Trick, and Oba. And then we all went different, but we didn't. Like, we all had the same mindset on where we wanted the male superstar to go. And I thought that was cool. I thought it was cool to see the females a little on the different side. But for the males, I felt like we were kind of still in that mix. Like, we know that NXT greatness that they've been kind of just pushing towards us. I absolutely love it. All right. So there it is. Breakout stars. We're hitting the home stretch, y'all. Now we're heading to our female wrestlers of the year. We're going to do our top 5. I'm going to go first so I can let these two great men. I'm going to let these two great men go through and do theirs, but I'm going to go first this time. And so here we go. Here are my top 5. At number 5, Stephanie Velcro. I got Stephanie Velcro at number 5. Stephanie's had a really good year, and everything that she's pretty much done from beginning of 2025 up until now, or as we enter 2026, has been gold. Yes, we all talked about the title reign maybe not being what it is. I blame Triple H for that, not making sure that we're getting solid matches from this young lady. It's not her fault. It really isn't. It wasn't Tiffany Stratton's fault. It's not Jade's fault right now. Talked about it last week. We got to find a way to get better title reigns. But for what she's done all this year, the popularity, what she's been able to do, I got her at number 5. At number 4, my girl, Chelsea Green. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I put her at number 2 initially. I had her at number 2 initially because I feel like her overall work in the ring has been absolutely phenomenal. Yes, she doesn't have 85 bucks like my girl Mercedes Moné, but I feel like what Chelsea's been able to do, on NXT, if it was on SmackDown, what she brings to her character is perfect. Mr. Perfect. I love everything that she does in the ring. When she had the Secret Service, she's a 2-time U.S. champion. It should still just be 1 time, but I'm going to let that fly. But, ever since that moment where she had in the Money in the Bank, and I know that was a couple years ago, there was something about it from that point on for me where I'm like, man, Chelsea Green has really got something special going on. And she's done nothing but every week prove it, every week in and out. So shout out to Chelsea Green. I wanted to put you at number 2, Chelsea Green, but I have a reason why I have my number 2 the way it is. At number 3, I got Mercedes Moné. I love what she does. She's able to, like I said earlier, just build everybody up. She's been killing it. 14 titles at one point, maybe 15 or 16. I could be off on that, but she had a lot of titles at one point. She's starting to lose them now. And I'm going to throw this storyline scenario out there, then I'm going to let it go. But like I told everybody, I think the way it is, she won all the championships. She's going to slowly lose all the championships. And then when the time is right, she will be AEW Women's Champion when she's down on her luck and she's got to fight back to win that title. Only then she will be world champion. And if you're AEW, only then she'll be world champion. So that's the way it needs to be done. Now, at number 2, I got Naomi. Naomi deserves this because we saw a transformation from the time that we were trying to figure out, from the time that she got back up until, the baby took her out, because that's the only person that could take her out was the baby. and Big Jim. That's it. The only people that could take them out or take her out was Big Jim and the baby. So, what she did leading up to it was absolutely it was perfect. She played the best friend role, the third wheel well. Then, once Jay was out of the way for a while, she played a great number 2 to Bianca. They were great tag team champions. And then she switched. And when she turned, she turned. When she cashed in, she cashed in. And her mic work was the best of her career. She was on a career-defining run before the baby stopped her. Because, sorry, Stephanie Velcro, I don't see you winning that title. Like, you couldn't take the title away from Naomi the way she was cooking at the point. So all it does for me is just make me crave for her to come back and see what she can do once she's had the baby. And that may be a little bit further down the road, but I just feel like the work that she's done this past year deserves to at least be in the top 5. And I just want to shout out Naomi because a lot of people had her written off. Even me, I had her written off. I'm like, well, Naomi's still solid. She's a good wrestler. She proved me and everybody wrong that she can be one of the best wrestlers overall in the world. And last but not least, I ain't got to say a lot. My girl, Timeless Toni Storm. That's my girl. No matter what the situation is, you can put her in any situation.
You want to spank?
You can put her in any situation, and she makes gold out of it. So I'm Timeless Toni Storm is my girl. It's hard for me to choose anybody above her because the mic work, the in-ring work, the way she, like they done switched her over to tag team, with Mina. And it's all still working because that's what Toni Storm does. She is a masterpiece. She is timeless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my top 5 women wrestlers. Next, we're going to go to Mr. Eric Knight.
Come on, man. Look.
I knew Marina Shafir was going to be there.
I just feel like, man, this list, this was difficult, bro. Like, I had Naomi on my list, and I said, I don't know. I said, I want to put her on here. I said, but I feel like I gave her her flowers. So I said, I got to give the shine to some of these other women that I feel like killed it this year. Number 5, come on, Harley Cameron. We already talked about this.
I wanted to put her in mine's bad. She was the one. I had her just like I was debating. She was the one.
Bruh, Harley, I had to put her on there, man. Just like you saying, look, Puppet Monet. I love Puppet Monet so much to the point where I really wanted to see her and Mercedes as a tag team and actually do something crazy. The moment that she even had as Puppet Monet in the women's blood and guts match, I mean, the crowd popped. I mean, come on. This woman is more than just talented, but to see how far she's came in the ring, she really takes it serious. She said that in the press conference. She's 100% dedicated. And I love the fact that now, look at her, tag team champion. Come on now. Let's stop playing with it. Number 4, Athena. Come on. We talking about the forever champion here. I mean, what else more do I got to say about this woman? Had an amazing match with her and Mercedes Moné in the beginning of the year. I mean, my God. Come on. You can't tell me. Even with her and Mercedes as a tag team that's been happening recently. Insane. I mean, come on. You can't tell me Mercedes. You can't tell me Athena hasn't been having an amazing year. I wouldn't be surprised sooner or later. Come on, man. She bound to have a few more titles herself too. Don't let it fool you. Number 3, come on, Marina. Is there much I have to say about this woman? This is the woman that literally bench presses with her neck while smoking a cig. Come on, man. Come on, man. Ain't much I gotta say about that, man. But man, look, she's won me over this year. Love the work she was doing, her and Jon Moxley. Every time she'd pop up, literally slapping Jon Moxley a few times, getting him ready. I said, man, come on. I love this. And then the whole work with her and Megan Bayne, top notch. Even when they kind of teased some stuff with her and Chris Statlander. Thought they were going to do something with that. But it went to her and Megan Bayne, and I love what they did with that. Number 2, come on. My girl,
Kalani.
Man, look. It'd be criminal if I ain't talking about my girl Lonnie this year, man. Look, she absolutely killed it this year. Love the work that she did getting the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion. Love what she did with that. The promo that she cut. I wish they did more with it. Even when they had the NXT versus TNA thing, and they was kind of showing a little bit of what side she was kind of choosing and everything. I loved everything Kalani was doing this year. And then again, look, like I said, that girl needs to be pushed to the moon. Okay, give Lonnie a main title spot. Or at least give it a mid card or something. She needs a title on her. We need to get that heel stuff going some more because she's killing it right now. Come on. It's Lonnie we talking about, man. And then of course, number one, CEO. Come on, Ultimo Monet. They ain't nothing. That's it. There ain't nothing else I gotta say about that.
Ultimo Monet is great. That's great.
It's awesome.
That's it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So there it is. Eric Knight's top 5. Now I will say, Eric. So Kalani, Athena, and Harley were all 3 that I debated hard. If there was a top 10, they would have been in my top 10.
Yeah.
But I struggled because I was like, man, maybe Kalani's the one. But those 3 women, probably more Kalani and Harley, where it was like I almost put them in over Stephanie. But I was like, I don't think I can do this to Stephanie because of the year she's had. And it was hard. It was really hard for me to decide. So I know it had to be tough for you, brother. Now we head to the HB Prince. Here we go. What you got, HB Prince?
Number 5, Io Sky. I think just the year she had as a champion, the matches she has put on all year, just the memorable moments, her with the trash on her head, leaping off the top of the cage, into a swan moonsault dive, whatever you want to call it. I've loved Io since her days at NXT. I just loved her from her entrance, the whole back breaking, bend back thing that she would do. Something about it, just sexified. And but yeah, love Io. So she was in there. Number 5. Where's Naomi? I would have had Naomi in here, but Naomi's run ended up short. And because of that, I couldn't overlook at the wrestlers that had been going all year long. Last Legend was there. Last Legend was there. And so was Sol Ruka. But
Soul was a tough one too.
But the reason why I didn't go with Last Legend was because Last Legend was up, then she was down, and now she's kind of finding her way again. These 5 here, to me, I thought had strong years the entire year. There was no downtime. And so that's why I had to build a list around them because, of course, I wanted Lash in here. I wanted Chelsea Green in here. I wanted Sol Ruka in here. And so I had to look at it as, hey, look, who are my ladies that had just went hard in the paint, the entire year. So Io Sky, I had to give it to her for number 5. Number 4, Becky Lynch. I'm not I know because if my boy KO was around, this is his girl, and I despise Becky Lynch, the man. For the longest time, I was a Sasha Banks person. I was a Charlotte Flair person. I was even a Bayley person. But the man, Becky Lynch, no. But something about this year, this run, this heel run that she has been on has been just magnificent. The mic work, oh my gosh.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Listen, she has been killing it. Netflix said it. Yahoo said it. Google has said it. ESPN said it. She is the greatest of all time. Becky Lynch this year has just been phenomenal. She has really made the Women's Intercontinental Championship valuable, feel prestigious. She really has gone on a good run. And then the way that it culminated with her and what's my girl that now has it? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine Dupree. Look, speaking of Maxine Dupree,
killing it.
She's killing it. Her mic. She may not be as crisp in the ring wrestling wise, but her mic skills,
they're better than I thought they were. I was like,
they are just dynamite. I said, oh my gosh, if this girl gets her wrestling like all together, she can be a package.
She's a player. She's a player.
But Becky Lynch, the match she had with Maxine Dupree, the way she kind of even put her over, and even now coming in there, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm having, the attorneys look into this, this sham that took place, because I'm the greatest, because, ESPN said it, Becky, Yahoo said it, Google, I love it. I love when she does that.
It's not just me saying it.
It's not just me saying Becky Lynch.
Man, the dude did that at a freaking press conference. He did that at the press conference for AEW the other day. I said, man, come on. I said, stop playing.
Come on, man.
Because he was like, he said Sports Illustrated say AEW is the greatest, promotion of the year. He said, hey, and it's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated said, I said, bro, nobody caught that. I said, oh my God.
Hey, I love it. The fact that she started doing that, it was hilarious, and it's just carried on. I love it. Number 3, this was a tough one because I wanted her at number 1, but I had to say, all right, look, let me give some respect to these ladies.
I understand.
But timeless Toni Storm.
It's my girl, man.
The trollop, we want to wallop. I
tramp is still the champ. Let's go.
That tramp, that's still your champ. This lady, the stuff she says on the mic, it's just devilish.
Oh,
and
I love
the fact that she gets, I don't understand how they don't, the stuff she said, I don't understand how they don't cut her mic off. I don't know if AEW or Tony Khan is just getting fined left and right, the stuff she gets away with, but it's so good. And it's so great for her character. And it's just, I love Toni Storm. I'm going to rip your bloody tits off. Like, this lady is just, her character is just, it's just phenomenal, man. It's just in the annals of just greatness for women's wrestling and what, she will mean to women's wrestling far after she's gone. I just think that the impression she has left on women's wrestling, I don't know. I just can't say enough about her, her character work, and just it's Toni Storm, man. If you watch AEW and you get to see her grace your screen, you just know you're witnessing something special when it comes to her, and she's just phenomenal. And then Stephanie Vaquer, I had to put her on here as number 2. Just because, again, that ascension this year, she had, oh my gosh, she's so over. Again, the Devil's Kiss. We all watch her matches just to get to that. Love what she has done. Love her intro. Love the aura. She is a star. I just want her to have a good female that can just oppose her, to be a good foil to her. If they could develop a storyline going into WrestleMania with that, I think it will really help Stephanie Vaquer, especially if she comes out on top. It would just further push her. But number 1, Mercedes Moné, hands down. I love Mercedes Moné. I am so happy to see that she stood, 10 toes down and decided to bet on herself and has achieved the greatness that she has achieved, even with carrying all the titles. I know it probably is demoralizing and hurtful to her, probably sees all the comments that come out about her being a champion and having all these belts, because she's one of the rare few people that found success outside of the WWE, and the WWE fandom as a whole, just they don't have a taste for that. If you're not WWE made, then it's
not under the umbrella.
Yeah, it's a problem, and I don't understand it, but I don't care. I don't care.
No. She number
Mercedes
1.
Moné, she deserves to be number 1. That lady has, she's wrestled all over the world, has collected so many belts, has put on so many great matches. WWE had this gym in their yard. They didn't see it for what it was, and they didn't respect it for what it was. And so, like a Cody Rhodes, she had to leave and go find herself somewhere else, and she has flourished. Like Toni Storm, she had to leave and go find herself somewhere else, and she has flourished. I don't believe you would have gotten the Toni Storm that you have now, the timeless Toni Storm, under the WWE umbrella. You can fight it, you can run from it, you can whatever else. It destiny comes all the same, as Thanos once said. It comes all the same. Dread it, run from it, whatever. Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné, they left the WWE umbrella and just have gone on to greatness along with Athena. Another one they had there, gone on to greatness. It's there. And I'm glad that these ladies have found their footing. And in a place outside of WWE umbrella. And it's good. It's good for wrestling as a whole to be able to have other avenues to be able to express yourself in a way that you may not be able to express yourself under a different company, and that's okay.
I love it. Solid top fives, fellas. Solid top fives. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. So now we are finished with our women top five, and now we head to the men. And so I'll go first to make way for the greatness that the fellas have on their hand. So for me, and my list is a little weird, but I'm going to tell you why it's the way it is. At number 5, that's Trick right there. Look, and I really had to fight to try to figure out how I wanted to do this because as the fellas do know, and y'all know, like I said, I watch AEW, I peek in, I'm paying attention, but I'm not fully paying attention the way I need to be. So mine is a little bit more in the WWE perspective. But for me, I had to go with Trick number 5 because Trick is this next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he's number 1. That's how good Trick Williams is. If he stays healthy, I would not be surprised if he's number 1 or number 2 next year. And so shout out to Booker T, because Booker T is doing a great job of help building up athletes at that NXT level. And he may not even be trained with them. You know what I'm saying? But what he's doing on the mic to boost some of these athletes and take them to another spot, that's something that should be studied. So shout out to Booker. But yeah, I got Trick at number 5. At number 4, Obafemi. Spelled it right this time. I'm not gonna go too deep in it because we've been talking great about Oba the entire show. This guy is the next. He's the next of next. Like he could be the future of this company. Should be the future of this company, along with your Braun Breakers and whoever else you want to toss in there. But this guy's got it. At number 3, CM Punk. CM Punk has had a really solid year for the WWE, and I think he's also another person I think it has in mind help. Maybe putting some people over. He's still just as good as he's ever been on the mic, and you can't take that away from him. Like he's still sharp. I don't know how old he is now. He's probably like 45, 46, something like that. I don't know, but he's so good on the mic. And him having his world title reign, we all know that at some point he's going to lose his title to help boost somebody else up and take him to another level. I just like the work that he's done this year, so I gave CM Punk number 3. Number 2, MJF. I flirted with putting him number 1. And I know he was out for some time, during the year, but to me, if I'm going to watch AEW, the first person I'm looking for is MJF. I mean, he is so good on the mic. So he's great in the ring. He's in and out of the ring. He's that person. And he doesn't blur the lines. He talks trash about his wife. He doesn't care. He talks about kids. Kid can have cancer. He'd probably tell him, I hope you die soon. Like, that's just who he is. And I love MJF for it, but he is the man. And I'm glad he's champion again. I hate that it came at the expense of Hangman Page, because I feel like Hangman probably should, once again, a short title reign, didn't deserve to lose the belt this early. You know what I'm saying? But, I'm glad that MJF finally has the title back. So it's a double-edged sword there. And number 1, I prayed. I prayed. Look, Drew McIntyre, he hasn't had the title reigns or anything like that this year. But what Drew McIntyre has done on the mic has been a masterpiece. Of course, when he's in the ring, you already know what you're going to get when he's in the ring. But his work outside of the ring, to me, and his promos, and if you put him in a match, he's going to make that person once again look like gold. Like if it wasn't for him coming in and that Oba, we knew that it wasn't going to let Oba lose, and we knew they wasn't going to let Cody lose, but he came in and did his part, and he made it look great. Drew McIntyre is who should be WWE champion. if he doesn't win whenever they go to Germany and they have this 3 stages of hell match, I'm going to have to go to Bridgeford. I'm going to have to go to Connecticut myself, and I might have to kick Triple H in his teeth. Like, it's time to make Drew McIntyre the world heavyweight champion. He has not had a chance to be champion with a crowd. You know, we've talked about that since he was champion. He carried him during the pandemic. Give this man a title run, a proper title run. But for me, and you know, he's not even my favorite wrestler, but what I like as a total package person, I got to go with Drew McIntyre. He's my number one guy this year. You know, just imagine if he had the title, how far he could really be. But that's just me. So those are my top 5. Now we're gonna head to Mr. Knight. Go ahead and give him them top 5, Mr. Knight.
My 5 to say loud. Look, this was tough, man. This was hard because I struggled because I really, for my number 5, I gave it a Trick. I gave this one to you, Trick. But I look, Ricochet, you was about to be that number 5, man. Ricochet had an amazing 2025 this year. Everything he did, okay, this year. The whole situation with him, the Hurt Syndicate, MJF joining up with his group called the Demand for a little hot second. Okay. Then all the work he did with my man Bishop Khan, okay, and Toa, and you seen what they was doing, okay, beat the hell out of everybody else, and you see international champion. Come on, Ricochet had an amazing year this year, man, and I believe he's definitely going to keep going to higher heights. But again, since I didn't give it to Ricochet, I gave it to my man Trick. I feel like Trick had an amazing year. The work he put in with TNA, everything, you know, that whole crossover. We've talked about it earlier. It ain't much I gotta even explain more with it. But with Trick, yeah, man, he absolutely killed it this year. And you know, we seen him improve it. And again, we talked about that before. Everything, that whole situation with him going to TNA, having that title, it literally polished him to being what he is now. And I think he's deserved literally top 5 for me, I think, this year. Number 4, the Ruler. Come on, not a shot. What are we talking about here? I could have put him at number 1, but y'all know who my number 1 is when we're going to get to that. Okay, number 3, had to give it to Jon Moxley. I felt like this man has been giving his all this year. And then the fact that this man won the Continental Classic, I was like, man, this is insane. But I'm intrigued to see what he does. Everything he's been doing with the Death Riders. I mean, even the story he's been telling lately, we kept saying what's going on with Jon Moxley. He's been tapping out. Turned it around, swerved everybody. Man done got a whole nother title. Stop playing with Moxley. Number 2, the man that told the story with Moxley, Adam Hangman Page. I felt like this is another man that had an amazing year, telling his whole story, his redemption arc, him beating Jon Moxley, and then even the situation even after with Samoa Joe, and then with MJF, with the contract, everything with that whole situation. Man, come on. And even then, to my number 1, my man, the best. Come on, Long Island's own, baby. And y'all should have known that's going to be number 1 regardless. MJF, man, look. MJF, I think he had an amazing year this year. Getting that contract, not using it. And then, of course, calling my man Adam Page Seabiscuit every time. I thought that was hilarious. Hi, Seabiscuit. I said, my God. But yeah, verbally assassinating everybody. You seen what the work that he did with the Hurt Syndicate, cutting that promo. I said, man, come on, MVP looking like a proud dad. Just with that whole, I said, man, this was good stuff. Then even the whole work with him and Bobby. Everything with him and Shelton, them trying to give the watch. Oh, the watch was fake. All this, man, I love that whole thing, man. That was great stuff that he did.
Yeah.
Then even losing to Adam Hangman Page. And then he even said he was going to be coming back as a whole different man. He said it. I said, man, I wonder. And then when he came back, because I was like, oh, everybody done forgot. That man came back with the contract, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. And what did he do? What did he do? My man turned it around at World's End and won that AEW title to end off the year. I said, man, if anybody had an amazing year, it was this man, MJF. You had a couple of months off. You had Happy Gilmore 2 come out. You was in that. Number one, that's my guy, MJF for this year, man. Salute.
That's salute. Shout out to MJF. So, so far so good. Now, our last one. We're going to HB Prince here to give his top 5. And there's a couple similarities here. But we'll let HB Prince tell his and give us his top 5.
Look, I love the hive mind thing we have going on. We're very close. Trick, I love you, man. I ended up going with Javon. It was a tough fight between you two, but between y'all two. But I went with Javon just because of the year he had as a whole. I know he never was a champion or carried a title, but I just thought the work he did across NXT into WWE and just the year he had. I just gave him the nudge there. So Javon Evans, you deserve it. You had one hell of a year. You obviously won the award the other night for like NXT Superstar of the Year, and it was well deserved. It's obvious that that you have that aura, you had that it factor, and the crowd's behind you and Bounty. So yeah, number 5, definitely Javon Evans. Number 4, Jon Moxley. What he did for AEW, the whole briefcase thing, we've already hit on it and talked on it. The Death Riders, the matches he put on all year, all this year, just the death-defying stunts, head in a fishbowl, just ridiculous. Stabbed in the head multiple times by forks. Like he just put it all on the line all year long. And the sad thing is, he was always the one that brought the fork into the match.
Dude, stop bringing forks into the match, bro.
How do you bring a fork to a match, get it taken, and then you get stabbed and poked in the head with it? Like exactly. It's diabolical work. But Jon Moxley, just one hell of a year. Just phenomenal. And then, of course, I had to put in Maxwell Jacob Friedman because he's better than us, and we all know it. That dude is just. He's a piece of work. It's just he's so devilish. He's so diabolical, and just the way he talks about Briscoe and his brother all the time, like it just rubs it in about like the insults. The one where he said the wrong brother died. I said this is just.
It's like, what's wrong with you guys?
Crazy.
What is happening? Why
you say that out loud?
Why? Don't give a damn.
No. None. And then the whole thing with the Hurt Syndicate, how that fell apart when they learned the watch, they knew the watch was fake, but when they brought it up about him giving a fake watch and how they just went along with it that entire time. Like MJF, when he got the contract, the only thing I think that they fumbled this year is I wanted to see MJF and Adam Hangman Page because I love the rivalry that was going on between them two. And Adam Hangman Page saying you're not going to weasel your way into getting a shot at this time. You're going to earn it. But you're talking to Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And you know what he did? He still weaseled his way into a championship match without having to use his contract. But crazy. I wanted to see him use his contract and use it to cash in specifically with Adam Hangman Page to have a one-on-one match. We didn't get it. We kind of got it. But I thought that would have been a little bit better, but Maxwell Jacob Friedman just had a phenomenal year. I love this dude. Love this dude on the mic. Love just his in-ring ability, like everything. He's just another total package when you talk about wrestling entertainment and just phenomenal for AEW. Adam Hangman Page, again, my pick for champion of the year. I just think his whole story arc, again, from just being a shell of himself to really going through the rigors of learning like what it means to be a champion, what it means to carry a brand and doing it. Just a phenomenal story arc, phenomenal year. So yeah, number 2 for Adam Hangman Page. And then without a doubt, it is the ruler. It is the destroyer. It is the bringer of war. And it is soon to be the conqueror.
The bringer of war, baby.
Yeah, just, Obafemi. Just phenomenal. Definitely going to be my top choice for top male in the number 1 spot for top 5 wrestlers of the year, Obafemi. you know, I just can't say it enough how much I love Obafemi, and just so excited to see where his career goes in WWE, and just want them to get it right when he goes to the main roster so bad. But Oba, you deserve it. Congratulations to all of you guys. Y'all were all deserved.
There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, right under the 2-hour mark here.
This is it, boy.
We worked this. We worked this. Now we knew it was going to be a long episode. Y'all go, yeah, we got a lot to get in, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in. But we got before we
had
go,
fun.
Yeah. Before we go, we hope you had fun. We hope you enjoyed it. You know, it speaks volumes that both HB Prince and then pick any WWE superstars. What y'all?
I mean, I'm sorry, WWE. Y'all got to tighten up. Y'all didn't do a good year. Y'all bounced the belts around all year. We didn't have any really good. Roman Reigns was gone most of it. I think what hurt WWE this year, real quick, was that I don't mean this in a bad way, but most of the year was surrounded around John Cena. So like Roman Reigns wasn't really around. Seth Rollins was in and out with faking injuries and now being injured. So that wasn't there. Drew McIntyre, they really didn't do much with all year, even though he's been an excellent heel. It really just was John Cena and CM Punk all year. So you really didn't have. I just don't think they had, and they didn't have a lot of good storylines with the main titles.
Terrible.
Gunther, Jey Uso had the title for a hot second. Gunther got it back for another hot second. They just didn't have it. I'm sorry, but we still got WWE love on there. NXT is still WWE, and it is what it is. Do better. That's all
NXT and AEW are 1 and 2 easily.
Yeah,
I guess it would be. Like I say, now for me, like I watch more NXT than I watch AEW. So for me, I'd probably say NXT than AEW. But that's because I watch it more than the other. But I mean, like we know that AEW is killing the game right now, and WWE is not aware. At least they don't seem aware. Hey guys, you might want to start paying attention a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a tad.
A little bit.
All I really need is a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and even for me, man, it's AEW, NXT, WWE. And even thinking about what Nicole said, man, I think if I had somebody from WWE, I just didn't think about until just now, I could have put on that list. The man with the magic boo, Jacob Fatu. But he's been gone for so long.
I thought about putting him on there too, and I said, but dang, he ain't been there in the last couple of months. If he'd have still been going strong, there's a strong chance he could have been in the mix.
He'd have been on my list,
because he had a good. Shout out to, I would say Solo. I thought had a solid year, but they mishandled that once again, not knowing how to use title reigns. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. You have to fix your title reign problem. It's there because it's like the title's bouncing around. Is NXT starting to have the problem, but the product's so good. You look past the fact that they just flipping titles. But on the main rosters, you can't do that. Like you have to have good title reigns, and it's just not good. It's just not good. So hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yep, now 26 could be the year.
And with that being said, before we leave, fellas, before we leave. So shout out to everybody who tuned in today. Nicole, our guy. What's our our man Zach, popping in for all those who've been paying attention, watching. Those who watch it later, we appreciate you watching. The second episode of Xclusive Minds, our end of the year for the Exclusive Nights Awards ceremony. Fellas, before we go, I want you to do two things. I want you to give me your overall thoughts on the wrestling year, 1, and then 2, maybe give me one hot take, one surprise that you see happening in 2026. Who wants to go first? It's a tough one.
Gosh, I can go first. I think I got
HB Prince going. He going first.
So what was the first one? I'm sorry. The first question.
First one is your recap of the year. What is your
recap
overall,
of the year? That's right.
Overall thought of 2025.
So my overall thought of 2025 was that wrestling, if you can be open-minded, wrestling is, getting back to its old days of glory. Meaning, if you open your mind outside of WWE, you can find some good stuff in AEW. You can find some good stuff in TNA, and you can find some good stuff in Triple R. You can find some good stuff in Ashe Wrestling.
Triple R.
And so, I'm happy because I'm happy to know that you could really just go and watch all different types of wrestling and get good product. Ring of Honor. So like, and I love the partnerships that we're seeing between these the companies, with WWE working with TNA, with AEW working with New Japan and stuff like that. I love stuff like that because it's really introducing you to different wrestlers, different styles, and that type of thing. So I think wrestling is in good shape overall compared to what it was 10 years ago, where we had to really get our wrestling fix from one product, one brand.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my take for this year for wrestling, just to try to keep it short. And then my what is it? What do you call it?
Either your hot take for 2026, or you can do like what you like to see in 2026. One of the two.
So I'm gonna give you both because it's gonna be the same thing. My hot take for 2026: Austin Theory. If they can weave this story in and tell a great story,
I'm listening.
I want Austin Theory to play the role, or to be a double agent. I want him to appear to be part of the vision, and to be down with the vision, to really get in deep with the vision, to where you think that they are a cohesive unit, only to see that he was part of the Messiah's plan.
I knew it. I knew that's where you were going.
He was sent by Seth Rollins to destroy the vision from the inside out.
I like this.
Because of how they kind of wrote Seth Rollins off, how they destroyed him, they assassinated his character and everything when he left or was injured. I want the whole thing to be like he was planting these seeds the entire time, interfering in the matches, doing the curb stomp. He's telling you who he's aligned with, but
smart.
We're not seeing it. We're not getting the vision until it all comes to some big thing, some big title match. Maybe Austin Theory wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's going for the title, but he turns it over to Seth Rollins to cash in, to become the champion some way, somehow, from like a Braun Breaker if he has it. Just some way where they can destroy the vision from the inside out. And I want it to be like a thing that was all done by the architect, by the Messiah, Seth Rollins himself. So that would be my thing.
I like
tell
that.
a story like that. That would be an amazing story.
I like that. I really do like that. As soon as I heard you say Austin Theory, I said, I think I know where he's going, but I want to hear him say it. And then you was like, I said, yeah, that's smart. That's smart. That's smart. Eric Knight, we head to you, brother. Give us your thoughts on 2025 and either a hot take or what you would like to see in 2026.
Well, man, I'd say for 2025, man, the wrestling has been more than spectacular. If we're talking about anything besides what we've been to the norm of the big three letters, everything outside of that, I mean, they have showed what they have. All the outside promotions, all the other big wrestling promotions, Ashe, TNA. I mean, I'll say that too. But NWA Power still been doing their thing. AEW obviously been doing their thing. All these other promotions have been really showing out. And I love the fact that we're really seeing more of a huge golden age of wrestling. There's 180 wrestling promotions out here. The options are limitless. I love the fact that that's what we're seeing, not just from one company, we're seeing from multiple companies, and we're seeing how much great wrestling we're seeing out of it, how much magic these people are making, and I'm loving it, man. I think 2025 has given us great magic in wrestling. I think we've had great moments of even just from promo work, whether it's from anybody on AEW or even in WWE. I think even WWE's had great moments as well. But again, I love the just everything I've been seeing, even outside those major two big promotions right now. Again, Ashe Wrestling, love what y'all been doing out there, man. Love to see the representation. I love to see just the representation from the wrestlers now that's going on. Now nobody want to be a joke. Nah, everybody wants to be something different and just something unique, and I'm loving to see that. My hot take for 2026. I ain't gonna lie. Jade and Bianca. I think one of my biggest hot takes. I think that will be a great match at Mania. I also think that Bianca is the woman that is behind Liv Morgan in that WrestleMania commercial. So I do think Bianca will go to the Royal Rumble and win it, and of course beat Jade for it. I think she's going to be another deciding factor going into this. So I'm hoping even Bianca has a nice little title reign. But that's my little hot take. I had a couple. I thought about even MJF having a year-long title reign, and maybe
That could work
Will
though.
and maybe Will Ospreay beating him at Wembley Stadium. I can see something that with that, but we'll see. I'm gonna go for my girl Bianca and Jade. I might just play it safer this year because I feel like some of my hot takes they some of them hit, but some other ones I'm like, all right, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill.
All right,
So,
you right.
but yeah. I'm gonna be like, good old Trip. I'm gonna play it safe because I'm comfortable with Jade and Bianca. So that's what I'm going for.
I love it. All right, so so 2025, great year in wrestling. Overall, I'd probably say it's the best year of wrestling we've had in a long time. Because yes, it's been like hit or miss. Like, yes, WWE's had their moments this year, but it's still been solid for the most part. AEW's taking a big step. TNA's taking a big step. We've seen a lot of these wrestling promotions really take a leap, like Eric Knight said, and that part has been really nice. And I think there's a certain guy out there that says "Make America Great Again," but we wanted to see wrestling get great again, and guess what? It's there. And I think in 2026 we could see it get greater. But my overall take for the year was just a good year of wrestling. You could always go back and find good wrestling all the way around. I absolutely love that. And that's what I wanted to see. So that's my 2025. Real quick, Nicole says my hot take. Oh, it went away. Hold on. Go back.
My tribal chief.
There we go. My tribal chief will be a Universal Champion, and Bianca Belair will return and be champion. That is a solid hot take. I likes it. All right. And last but not least here for me, 2026. I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but this is what I want to see. It is time to put the belt on Drew McIntyre. And I mean, like, not no Punk, no pun on CM Punk, no Punk reign, bro. Like, we need him to be champion and we need him to be dominant. You've got great stars that could take over and be great in this industry, but they're just kind of like lingering around and they're not putting these people in great positions. So I need that. I need Drew McIntyre to be world champion. I don't know if it happens at Mania. I don't care. But when he does get it, I need it to be a long title reign. I need him to have a Cody Rhodes title reign. Okay. One of these, minus the
lengthy one, but it's still good. Yeah.
You knew I was going with that. Yeah. No, did he? He didn't mean that the way he said it, guys. I promise. But
yeah, Paul, that was crazy. That was.
But
that was
I need Drew McIntyre to be the guy. Like, and Drew's still a young guy, and he could lead your company and be your next. He has it all. Just make that happen. And then the other one I would say is Chelsea Green. It's time to really put Chelsea Green on a pedestal. Just like, she has everything you want. The crowd loves her. I don't know if you want to make her a heel. If you want to make her heel, that would work. If you want to make her. But she has what we call, like, she could be a classic heel, oh, I'm scared, but give you a little bit of Ric Flair type of like heel, you know what I'm saying?
No
like
blow.
No low blows, and like she's just great. She's got one of the best finishing moves in all of women's wrestling. That jumping impaler is smooth. And when she does it, like, she puts all her effort into it, and she's in the air. So that's what I would like to see. I would like to see those two superstars take a leap and really make something happen. But the one hot take I'll say is that I feel like WWE is, and it might not be a hot take, it's more of a prediction, but they're going to do something we hate. And they're going to make somebody champion that absolutely doesn't deserve to be champion. I'm just going to say that now. I can't tell you who it is yet. Don't know for sure. But when it happens, you'll know. You'll be like, that's what Darrell said. That's why it happened. So that's what I got right there. That's what I got right there. They should give Drew the belt for 1 month, then give it back to the original owner, the OTC. I don't believe in Drew McIntyre. Come on.
Come on now.
Come on.
Nah, my girl, she's tribal chief tried and true. I can't tell you how many times I catch her on YouTube watching old cut-ups of the tribal chief.
Let me tell you something. I look at them too.
Oh my God.
If I went that way, I'd be staring too. the tribal chief is a nice looking gentleman. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I've been married for 20 years. I ain't got no shame in my game.
Look, I understand. She loved that man. And
I get it.
Yeah. And then the other day she was watching some promos he was doing. I forgot some of the promos he cut, and I was like, "Oh snap! I forgot how good he had gotten on the mic."
And that was a process. It took him some time. But when he got when he got on the mic and when he got really good, he was like, now that's the Roman Reigns we've been looking for. And that's the thing. There's so many wrestlers that had that type of potential. Like I think Mike Wise Drew has that, but you just got to give him the other pieces. He could be a champion for a year and it would make sense. But we'll see. All right, everybody. This has been a 2 hour and 15-minute extravaganza, our end of the year award ceremony, and our second episode of Xclusive Minds. We're going to be back after the Rumble for Xclusive Minds to talk some things. And once the Royal Rumble is over, but in that time, make sure you're checking out the Xclusive Nights podcast. You make sure you check us out. We come to you weekly. To bring you all of the heat, talking about everything that's happening on Raw and SmackDown, all that good stuff, and on NXT. And of course, you can't forget about nighttime, baby, because nighttime is the right time. So you got to go check out my man Knight H.B. Prince, because they be killing it over there. They be killing it over there on nighttime. And shout out to all of our special guests that we had this year.
BJ.
PJ,
Josh, OB Dub.
I mean,
a few people up on it.
We've had a few people that have come in, and definitely, I want to appreciate them because I have
J Movie Mania. What am I thinking? Oh my
God.
Move. Come on, Jay.
I just shout out to all those guys and the ladies that are coming here in the future and be a part of this, because like I had to run away for a while. Y'all know I'll be out here running around, but E and HB Prince, those guys be killing it. And he does a great job of recruiting guys and young ladies to come in and talk. So shout out to E on that. And look, we appreciate you all for just following us. We know that the growth is still coming along. We appreciate y'all being here with us as we continue to grow this thing. No diddy. And like I said, 2026 is going to be a big year for the Xclusive Nights, because as you all know, we are the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Yeah. And just always remember, ladies and gentlemen, that your nights will never be the same. That's Trick.
Y'all be
the destroyer.
Happy New Year.
What?